All right, here we go. Welcome to yoga. And I'm gonna pin my view. How do I pin my view? Hold on, hold please. Oh, I have to go here. Okay, good. And I can still see some of you, which is great. All right, welcome. Let's get started. We are gonna start sitting in an easy cross-legged position. Just take note of which leg you have in front of you or which leg you have on top, whatever feels good. And we're just gonna start with our shoulders right over our hips. So that means that we're slightly leaning back, and that's gonna already right away just engage your core. So feel that lift that happens right there in your core. We're gonna inhale, squeezing the shoulders to the ears. Hold the breath while we send the shoulders back, and then exhale as we scrape the back wall with those shoulders down. And one more time, inhale. Big deep inhale through the nose. See if you can get the shoulders a little higher. Hold the breath for a minute while you squeeze the shoulders behind you, and then exhale down. Beautiful. Let's take the hands down to the mat. Let's try that again. Don't lean forward, stay with your shoulders over your hips. Inhale, hold the breath. This time take the shoulders forward and scrape the front wall. Good, inhale, big, deep inhale through the nose. Hold the breath, squeeze forward, and then exhale, scrape slowly. And let's just take a few shoulder circles here. And a few the other way. Ooh, that feels good. And let's just take the right ear to the right chest, what? That doesn't make any sense. Right ear to the right shoulder. Engage the left palm, flex it. Take the right hand to the head and just gently let it rest on that, on the side of your head, just giving a little extra weight. Maintain those shoulders over your hips. You might feel it now in your back. That's okay. And then take the head and just tip the chin forward on the diagonal. So the chin is kind of, and the nose are kind of reaching towards the right knee. And release, and try the other side. Left ear to left shoulder. Flexing the right palm, sitting tall, engaging the abs, placing the weight of the hand on the head. And then a quiet a quiet tilt to the left knee, nose to knee, chin to chest. So you're kind of getting that, ooh, feels so good. That front of the neck, front side of the neck, and released. And let's reach up. Big inhale, clasp the fingertips together, send the palms to the ceiling on the exhale. Let's inhale and let's walk those shoulders up the ladder. You know this is my favorite. All the way up as far as you can get up the ladder, and release. And then let's just go right into a nice lift. One more time. Big inhale and an exhale forward, and just release all the way over. Bend that spine, heavy head. Keep the sits bones rooted into the ground. Lift the belly button towards the back. Breathe here. Take the right hand behind the back And use that as a kind of lever traction to push your nose to your right knee. Stay bent over, release into that stretch. Root the left hip down into the ground. Keep the nose down towards the knee, chin to chest. 3 big deep breaths. And swing that right arm forward, left arm back. One more time. Root the right hip. Use the hands on the ground to kind of pull yourself around a little bit deeper into this stretch. Oh, that feels good. Big 3 breaths. And sweep that arm forward and walk the hands slowly, slowly, slowly up. And right from here, let's just take the hands behind the pelvis. I love to do this reverse stretch. Big inhale, chin to chest, fingertips facing forward behind the hips. Exhale, press the hips forward and release the head. So you're kind of rotating onto your top of your knees, if you can. See if you can lift a little higher. And release. And let's let those legs just come out for a minute. Give them a little rub down. A little massage, little rock and roll side to side. And actually, while we're here, let's just take a nice dancer stretch, reaching our left fingertips to our left toes and sweeping the right arm up and over. Elbow kind of bends down towards the top of the knee. And we're rotating the chest towards the ceiling while rooting the right hip. Looking under our arm, dropping the scapula, and you can actually grab the toe with your finger if you want and really kind of give it a gentle pull. Ooh, just felt a release in my pelvis. Really try to keep that rooted right hip. And release, other side. Big inhale, exhale, pulling gently, elbow to the knee. Try to rotate that torso up towards the ceiling, root the left hip, flex those feet, drop the scapula. And come on up. Let's go back to that cross-legged position with the other leg on top. Gosh, that feels weird. And we're just gonna do that same stretch, sweeping up and over, releasing right over those legs. Some deep breathing here through the nose. Take the left hand and sweep the arm behind you while you use that as a little leverage to get your nose to your left knee. 3 breaths. Sweep the right arm behind you, left arm forward, opposite side, root the left hip. And back to center, slowly, 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 walking the hands back up. Take the hands behind the pelvis. Fingertips forward. Inhale, big squeeze, chin to chest. Exhale, tip the pelvis forward. See if you can come onto those knees. Release the head. This is also a wrist stretch. The further back your hands are away from your pelvis, the more of a stretch you're going to get. Breathe here, tight booties. And release. Why do I love that stretch so much? Oh, feels so good. Let's take the legs together in front. Actually, let's take the right knee up, flat, left leg flexed. We're gonna wrap our right knee in the crooks of our arm, and we're gonna lengthen on a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, twist and look over our right shoulder, pulling that knee gently across the chest, energy in the left heel, belly's lifted, spinal twist. And release. Ooh, you don't even need to cross that leg over. A lot of times people cross the leg over. I feel like I get a nice stretch right here. Let's try the other side. Wrap that left knee with the right hand. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen on the inhale. Exhale. Wring your spine out like a towel, like a dish towel. And release. Let's see if we can cross the right leg on top of the left, and let's see if we can get the knees right on top of each other. So it's not a crisscross applesauce type position. It's, I don't even know what this is. It is what it is. So already I'm feeling a beautiful kind of stretch here. Give yourself a little rub down in your pelvis. All we're gonna do is inhale and sweep the forehead forward, and then we're gonna swing to the right and swing to the left. So this may be a very small movement for you, and it may not. Just in your own time, take a nice deep breath, keeping those knees stacked. Exhale, sweep the arms forward. Release those. Root those hips. Take that right arm behind the back, twist towards the left foot. Switch arms, take the left arm back, twist towards the right foot. Your spine is bent and curved. Come forward, and actually now let's just take the hands behind the back and do a reverse prayer here. And let's do a nice set of 3 deep breaths. Send the elbows back. You can rest your forehead on your knee if you want. Release the arms. Recover. Cross your legs. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Give it a little rub down, a little shake, and let's try the other side. Wait, which side did I do? Which side did I do? Did that side. Okay. So now we're trying to get those knees stacked on the other side. Ooh, this one's harder. Starting nice and tall, shoulders over the hips. Inhale. Exhale, sweep forward. Take the left arm back. Use that traction to keep the head low. Nose to right foot. Sweep the arms around. Right arm comes back. Twist towards the left foot. Come around. Restack those knees if you need to. And then go ahead and just rest. You can even rest your chin on your knee if your head goes a bit beyond your legs, or you can come up a little higher, whatever is comfortable. And then find that reverse prayer. Walking the palms together up your back, clasping the palms together, sending the elbows back and the scapulas and shoulders down, lifting the belly button towards the spine, and breathe. Release the hands, recover, coming back to vertical with the torso, and then uncross the legs. Great. All right, let's come on to hands and knees. Do a couple of cat-cow. Inhale and arch, and exhale and round. If it feels good to come to neutral and just wag it out, wag the head, upper body, and the lower body. Let's do a couple of rocks back into prayer pose, and then all the way forward into cobra. Prayer pose, cobra, gentle, just kind of loosening up the hips, getting some mobility going. Next time you come to cobra, let's hang out in cobra for a minute. Let's actually get those knees off the floor this time, pressing the tops of the feet into the ground. Lift tight booty, breathe and hold. Press all 5 fingers and the palms into the mat, looking up. Try not to get those shoulders by the ears. There needs to be space between your shoulders and your ears. And release those knees. And let's come back to prayer. Leave those hands far away from the head. Root the booty down onto the heels. This is a stretch here. Lift the belly button towards the spine. If you're doing this at home, leader, prayer pose is always a place that you can come to rest. I call it home base. All right, come on up. If this hurts your wrists when you're in this table position, you can come down onto your forearms. We're gonna just do some leg lifts. So take the right leg out, flex the foot, and let's take that left arm off the ground and just hold. I think this is called bird dog. I don't know. I'm calling it bird dog. So right leg is extended and the heel is flexed. Left arm is reaching out alongside your ear. Belly is lifted. We're gonna inhale, bring the nose to the knee, and exhale, send it back. Again, you can come down onto your forearm if you need to. Same kind of movement if this is hurting your wrist. Continue in your own time. Now, if the movement is a little bit hard for you, just stay in the pose. You don't have to do the movement. This is an added level of challenge. It also helps with moving with the breath. So matching your inhale with the nose to the knee and matching the exhale with the extension of the leg. All right, let's come down into prayer pose, and let's release the hands down by the ankles. This is called child's pose. Just to give our wrists a break. And come on up. Other side. First, just establish that left leg shooting out off of the pelvis. Take the right arm off the ground. Let's just do 3 breaths right here. Now you can stay here and breathe, or you can start adding that inhale, nose to knee. Exhale, extend and reach. In your own time, movement and breath work together. One more. And release that leg and the arm. Come back into child's pose and just rest for a minute. All right, let's come on up and let's take that right leg forward. We're going to leave the left knee on the ground. Our foot is in between our hands and our pelvis is extended forward. We're not dumping. There's still some support there. And we're going to take the arms up and the chest up and the focus up. Breathe here. Hands to the mat, and let's take that booty back. And this time, instead of dropping the booty all the way to the heels, let's stay up. Let's extend that front leg, lengthen through the top of the head, and then walk the hands forward. That should give you a really nice hamstring and calf stretch. Three breaths. Now we're going to move between these two poses. We're going to inhale, look up. Exhale, shift back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift back. Keep the hands by the feet. When you bring the hands down to the mat, keep them by the feet. That's really going to give you that extra stretch as you pull the pelvis back. Couple more times. You might need to add a little extra padding under your knee. Sometimes I fold my mat a couple of times underneath my mat, underneath my knee. And let's bring that right leg back. And let's sit on our, actually let's tuck our toes and sit back on our heels for a minute, just to stretch those feet out. Maybe do a few wrist circles here. And maybe a shake out. Good. Come forward, tap the top of the feet on the mat, send some blood to those feet, and let's step through the left leg between the hands. Nice deep breath up. Remember, we're not dumping into the pelvis. We've got some lift, we've got some activity there. Good. Chest is lifted, shoulders are dropped, focus is up towards the ceiling, 3 breaths. See if you can open up the chest a little more. Hands to the mat. Shift back, flex the left foot. Leave the hands up by the top of your mat. Pull the left hip back, breathe. And now let's do our mobility flow. Inhale, chest lifted. Exhale, hands to the mat, pelvis sweeps back. Continue in your own time. And take that left leg back. And let's actually come down for a minute, bringing our legs in front of us, just to get off those knees for a second. While we're here, let's lay down on our back. We're going to extend the right leg and leave the left leg bent. With the left arm is going to come above the head. We're going to inhale as we stretch and lengthen the fingertips away from the toes. Exhale, come up and tap those toes. Here we go. 10 of them. We're going slow and controlled. While you're up there tapping that toe, see if you can hold it for a beat. Focus on the breath. If you focus on matching the breath with the body movement, you don't even know you're working. Two more. Good. Let's just bring the knees up, let the knees fall left and right. Just kind of loosening up the lower back a little bit there. And let's try the other side. Extend the left leg, right arm above the head. Inhale, stretch away the toes and the fingers from each other. And exhale, tap the toe. Bring your upper body off the ground. 10 of them. One more. Good job. And let those knees fall side to side. Since we're here, let's come over onto our left side. We're going to take our forearm down on the ground, and we're going to stack our feet on top of each other, and we're just going to lift that pelvis up and hold. If you want, you can take the right arm up. See how high you can get the pelvis? Just breathe here, 3 big breaths. And down. Now we're going to come all the way up onto the hands, same thing. See if you can do it with stacked feet. If you can't, take that top foot and put it in front of the bottom foot. We're going to hold side plank. Lift the pelvis. And hold, breathe. Woo! I haven't done stacked feet in a long time. I was wobbling. All right, let's try the other side. Now we've got our other, whatever side you just did, do the other side. I'm doing my right. First, we're on our forearm. We're gonna lift the pelvis off the ground, take that arm up, look up, create space between your hips and the floor, breathe. And lower down. And now let's try it with stacked feet on the other side. If stacked feet feels too shaky, you can always bring that front foot in front of the bottom foot. Lift off the ground. And then take that arm up. Ooh, and lower. Wow, that was a good test. All right, I can still do it, but it's hard. All right, let's come into down dog. Hello, my favorite pose. Tread it out a little bit. Take some deep breaths. Lift the heels, lower the heels. Bend one knee, bend the other. Let's take the right leg off the ground and just hold it there, keeping the hips square. And now let's open up the hip, stacking the right hip on top of the left, looking under the right armpit. Try and point those toes towards the ceiling. And bring it down. Other side, left leg comes off the floor. First, keeping the hips square, keeping the foot flexed, pressing into the hands on the ground. Ooh, I was just realized my heel was not released down to the floor. Release that standing heel. Then open up the hips, stack the left on top of the right, and see how high you can get those toes to the ceiling, looking under your left armpit. And come on down. If you want, you can do a full chaturanga here, or you can take your knees down to the mat and do a half chaturanga. Your knees, your chest, and your chin come down, and then push right back up and release. Come into prayer pose. Ooh, I have to tuck my shirt in. Let's come back to down dog. We're gonna do a little bit of a complicated move here, but follow me. We're back in down dog. We're gonna lift the right leg just like we did before. Hips are square. Then we're gonna stack the hips and lift the toes towards the ceiling. And then we're gonna bend that leg. So the toes are kind of tapping on the booty. We're gonna let ourselves fall onto that leg by letting the right arm go. And we come all the way down onto our booty. And then we press up into rock star. Hold rock star. The left leg is straight, the right leg is bent. The right arm is reaching over the chest. Come back down. The elbow comes into the pelvis. Use this leg that's on the ground, the right leg, to push yourself back up into the one-legged down dog and release down into regular down dog. Left leg comes up. Open the hips. Send that toe to the ceiling. Bend the knee, let the foot kind of fall onto the booty. Slowly with control, fall onto that foot by releasing the left hand off the ground. Come into a push-up position and then right into, it's not a push-up position, but go right into rock star. Now the right leg is straight, the left leg is bent, the left arm is shooting across my torso. I'm looking at my fingertips. Come back down onto your booty and then use that foot, the left foot, to push off and back over into one-legged down dog. Release the foot and let's walk the feet towards the hands into forward fold. Woo, good job. Shake it out. Shake those knees, shake that head no. Shake the head yes. If forward fold feels like it's too much, you can always bring your elbows to your knees and just kind of hang out, or even here with your hands on your knees. Breathe. At any time during any of this material you feel dizzy, you need to sit down and drink some water. The heat is really, really heavy right now. We need to make sure we're just really hydrating. All right, from forward fold, find your way slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, up to standing. And let's do a couple of standing poses. Whoops. All right, let's start in mountain. And when you're ready, take that right leg up, place the foot on the inside of the left thigh, find a focal point in front of you, around 6 feet in front of you. Tuck the pelvis. I don't want any booties hanging out behind me, behind you. Yeah, you want to tuck that pelvis slightly, which automatically engages your abs. Send the knee to the side. Don't let it float forward. Root the standing leg into the ground. Visualize the roots of the tree. And as you do, take the arms up and see if you can change the focus. Looking up. You can take the hands in prayer above your head. You can bring the hands down in prayer in front of your chest. You can take the arms out. Whatever feels good to you today. Right from there, we're going to take that leg and we're going to cross it over like we're sitting ladylike in a chair. See if you can wrap those toes around the calf. Sit into this position. You can stay here, or you can wrap the right arm around the left and bring your hands into a prayer, sending the elbows up. Ooh. When you're ready, see if you can come out of that gracefully and try the other side. Starting with tree. Again, slightly tilt the pelvis forward, gauge those abs, find your focal point, and then play with your arms. And from here, cross that leg, bend the standing leg slightly. You can stay here in prayer, or you can take the left arm under and around and try to get those palms together in front of your face, lifting the elbows to get that upper back stretch. And release. So without fail, we almost forgot to do our breathing exercises. We've got to stick those in now. So let's do our 20 pranayama. If that's the only thing you do during the day, you've done something good for yourself. 20 inhales up with an exhale down through prayer. In your own time, begin. Three more. Exhale into that prayer. Push those palms together. Push those palms together. Tight, 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 tight. Push is harder, 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 harder. And pop it out to star. Send that energy out. Let's take the right toes and open them. Let's bend that right knee over the right ankle and come into warrior two. We're going to hang out here, sending energy to that front knee that's going to go out into the side. And all we're going to do is our push and pull. So we're going to reach like we want something in front of us, and then reach and tilt the torso back like something's pulling us. But we keep that knee in the same position. So it's just the torso that's going forward and back. And I'll tell you, if you do this, you'll feel it in your waistline. So just a couple more. Inhale as you reach forward. Exhale back. And of course, your legs are working hard as well. Focus on the breath. One more. And bring those toes forward. Little jump in. You can also step in if you want. Little jump out. Left toes open up. Find the heel to arch connection between the 2 feet. Find your warrior two opposite side. Pull, reach for something in front of you and get pulled back. Reach for something in front of you, your future. Get pulled back by your past. Reach and pull back. 2 more. 1 more. And come back to center. Toes come forward. Step or jump the feet together. Woo! And let's just do a little inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, dive into forward fold, or just come forward onto your knees. Little inhale with a lengthen of the head. Flat back. Exhale, release. And roll back up to standing. Let's do another little hop out to second position, or step out, turn those right toes, come back to warrior two. We're gonna inhale and we're gonna reach that arm up. And then we're gonna pinwheel the left arm all the way down to the mat, lifting the back heel off the ground into a runner's lunge. And then bringing the torso up into prayer, twisting to the right with the left elbow coming to the outside of the right thigh or the right knee, pushing into the palms to twist. Looking over our right shoulder. Breathe. And recover. Drop that back heel, come back to warrior two. Bring the toes forward, step or jump together. Step or jump back out. Left toes, open up, warrior two, opposite side. Inhale, big breath. This is our prep. Fill the body with all that oxygenated air, pinwheel around into your runner's lunge. Lift that back heel. Now use your back to come up to prayer. Your torso is vertical. Twist towards the outside of that left knee. Push into the palms. Energy in that back heel. Look over your left shoulder. Bring it back around, drop that heel, rewind through the pose, and step or jump back together. Big breath in, big exhale. Nice little inhale and lengthening of the spine. Exhale, release all the way over, drop that chin to the chest, and come to standing. I want to do one more thing. Let's jump out. Toes, right toes come forward, open up. We're going to go into triangle pose. So right from here, try not to lock that right knee. You want to lengthen that right knee as you reach and tilt over. Sometimes we need blocks underneath for triangle pose. I don't have any blocks here. But just a little height can help you get into that pose where you want the torso to be parallel with the floor. See if you can bring the pelvis forward. You want to be almost two-dimensional. Wrap the thighs out and down. No locking of the joints, lengthening of the joints. And from here, we're going to do our head to knee because it's very good for our digestive system. Bring the hands to either side of the right foot. Take the back foot to the edge of your mat. Drape the upper body over the front leg. And see, this is beautiful and this is hard right here. If you can, take the hands behind the head. Keep the eyes open. Focus on something to help you keep your balance. Breathe. All right, beautiful. Let's find our way back up into warrior two. Toes come forward. If you want, you can stay here or you can do a little hop in and out just to add an element of cardio. And then back to, I'm sorry, we didn't even go to warrior two, did we? We just went right into triangle pose. So we lengthen that front leg. We reach forward like we were reaching earlier. And between our future and our past. And we come into triangle pose. If you need a block, use a block. Push those the pelvis forward so you can create that two-dimensionality of this pose. You can look down if it hurts your neck to look up. And then when you're ready, look down. Bring that right hand to the floor. Lift the right heel off the floor. Take the foot to the outside edge of your mat. Lengthen and drape the upper body over the front leg. And if you can, take the hands to the back of the head. And when you're ready, find your way back all the way to standing, into star. Step or jump the feet together. Let's come into mountain pose, palms forward, feet together, eyes closed just for a second. Good. Let's find our way down to the mat. We have about 5 minutes left. We might go a little over. Come on down. Let's do a couple bridge poses. We can do a shoulder bridge, and if anybody wants, they can try a full bridge. I haven't done one in a long time. Let's start with a half bridge. Inhale. Exhale, press the feet into the floor by lifting the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Let's see if we can actually tuck the shoulders underneath the rib cage and then clasp the hands together and press them down into the floor. That's gonna get us even more space between our pelvis and the ground. Opening up that upper chest, the rib cage. I want the tightest glutes you could possibly imagine. Press into the floor with those feet. Let's do 5 breaths. Stay here and just give me 5 little presses with the knees out. Keep the pelvis lifted, out with the knees. 3, 2, and 1. Unclasp the fingers, unhook the shoulders. Reverse down vertebrae by vertebrae. Last thing to come to the floor is the pelvis. Slowly drop it to the floor, hug the knees to the chest, and circle them around. And the other way. I think we'll work up to the full bridge, maybe next time. All right, and let's do one last core, taking the legs up to the ceiling, create an L with your body, arms above your head. All we're gonna do is reach towards the toes and hold that position. We're gonna take 5 deep breaths in the pose, reaching towards our toes. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, peel the upper body off the ground and hold here. We're gonna take 5 breaths. Each time you exhale, see if you can get higher. And release. Good. Another option for that, if you can't straighten your legs, is just to be in table, to inhale and reach towards the toes with the legs in table and hold there for 5 breaths. Let's just do a little spinal twist to the right, cross the left leg over the right, and let the knees fall, looking over your left shoulder. And try the other side. Milo. Milo. And come on up. And let's do a little happy baby. My dog is attacking me with kisses. And actually, since we're here, I feel the need, let's do a little number 4 stretch, crossing the right ankle over the left knee and then pulling that thigh towards us. If you want to do a little added ankle circle here. And the other side. Left knee, left ankle on right knee, pulling the right thigh in towards the chest while you're kind of sending the knee away. And release. And let's take a deep breath in, stretching the hands away from the toes. Inhale, hold the breath. Tighten up everything. Tighten the glutes, tighten the fists, tighten the face, tighten the feet. Inhale, hold the breath, get it tighter, get it tighter, get it tighter, and exhale, release. Swallow. Remove the tongue from the roof of the mouth, stick it out, say ah. And let's just come into Shavasana for a few minutes, deep relaxation. When you're ready, bring yourself back to the room by wiggling your toes and fingers and maybe giving your face a little massage. Let your knees fall over to one side and using your hands, gently come to sitting. We will close today's class by sealing it with a prayer, blessing, a positive affirmation, whatever you want to call it. Take a moment to give appreciation to your body that allowed you to do the things you just did in the last hour. Appreciate your mind, which told your body what to do. And appreciate your spirit, which brought all of your effervescence and energy, into what you did, into your thinking, into your moving. Our ancestors are there in that spirit. Our children are there in that spirit. And the spirit in me salutes the spirit in you. Namaste.